Most of us love or used to love films and cartoons about superheroes. Probably you wanted to have the super abilities of Spider-Man, or to be as strong as Hulk, or become a Mr. Fantastic. Unfortunately, we are all common people. But there are people on Earth with real superpowers that will surprise you. So here are 8 real people with superpowers. Number 8. Magneto. Meet Luthan Lin, the 78-year-old retired contractor from Malaysia, who is also the only real-life human magnet. Mr. Lu has the incredible ability to attract metal objects to his body and make them stick there. Much like Magneto from X-Men, Lu can make metal objects weighing up to 2 kilograms each and up to 36 kilograms total stick to his skin like metal sticks to a giant magnet. If you still think Magneto's power is cooler, being able to manipulate electromagnetic fields and attract tanks and helicopters, Lu attached iron chain to the car, and it's hooked to an iron plate stuck on his midriff, and he pulls the car along the driveway for a whole 20 meters. Lu also passed on his gift to his grandchildren, who are beginning to exhibit his unique abilities. What is even more astounding is that when scientists from Malaysia's University of Technology studied his case, they found that his body did not exhibit any kind of abnormal magnetic fields, which means that his powers are not in fact magnetic. Seeing that his abilities were indeed real, the scientists studied him further, only to discover that his skin condition might be the source of attraction. His skin was found to exhibit unusually high levels of friction, which the scientists believe can create a special suction effect that could explain why metals stick to his body. Number 7. Electroman. You and I would possibly die of electrocution if we fumble with electric current. And that will happen within microseconds as the voltage passes through our body. But this is not the case with Raj Mohan Nair of India. He is a man with weird gift of surviving electrocution, or simply put, not getting shocked when he touches naked electricity. He in fact can survive 30 times over the normal amount of electric current that will instantly kill an ordinary man. Raj Mohan's case is that he possesses a superhuman ability, a rare gift that many people do not have. Of course, he cannot generate electricity to power a house directly from his body because he's not gifted with that power. But unlike an ordinary individual who can die of high electric voltage when electricity passes through him, Raj Mohan conducts electricity well and lives. That is a lot more than what the normal human can do, and the reason why he's known to be superhuman in all corners of the world where his story has been documented. Number 6. Super Samurai. Isao Machi is one of the most popular superhuman on the planet. Born on August 20th, 1973, Isao Machi is a Japanese Iaido master from Kwananishi, Japan. He holds several Guinness World Records related to his prowess with the sword. One Guinness record is for the most sword cuts to straw mats in 3 minutes. Isao has superhuman sensory powers that are beyond anything anyone has ever seen from a normal human being. Dr. Ramani Durvasula witnessed him cut a pellet from a BB gun in half and had this to say. This is about processing it at an entirely different sensory level because he is not visually processing it. This is a different level of anticipatory processing, something so procedural, something so fluid for him. Sensory powers, superhumans uncategorized. Isao is one of the stars on the popular Discovery Channel's Stan Lee's Superhumans with his fellow super sapien, rubber boy Daniel Browning Smith. Number 5. Mr. Fantastic. The human body is an amazing vessel for us to spend our life in and is capable of doing some pretty amazing things. The human body comes in all shapes and sizes, and each individual is entirely unique. However, one man that seems to stand out the most out of all the humans in the world is Gary Stretch Turner, the man with the world's most elastic skin. Gary Stretch Turner was born with a condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a disorder that causes the skin to weaken, thus making the skin much more elastic than it normally should be. If you've ever seen the movie The Incredibles, you may be thinking a bit about Elastigirl, His skin is so loose and stretchy, he can turn his belly into a table, capable of holding 3 pints of beer. He told ABC News, "If you look at your own skin cells under a microscope, they'd be nice and round and lock in many places. But my skin cells tend to be more jagged and don't fit together quite so well." He added his skin was actually twice as thin as regular skin. Although you wouldn't believe it to look at it, it is actually quite paper thin. He uses heavy-duty bulldog clips to pull his sagging skin down and does a truly terrifying impression of Batman. Number 4. Iceman. Wim Hof, born 20 April 1959, also known as the Iceman, is a Dutch extreme athlete noted for his ability to withstand freezing temperatures. He has set Guinness World Records for swimming under ice and prolonged full-body contact with ice, and still holds the record for a barefoot half marathon on ice and snow. He attributes these feats to his Wim Hof method, a combination of frequent cold exposure, breathing techniques, and meditation. However, skeptics question whether or not his identical twin brother's similar brown fat composition shows that Wim's tolerance of cold is mostly a result of his genetics. On March 16, 2000, Hof set the Guinness World Record for farthest swim under ice, with a distance of 57.5 meters. In 2007, Hof climbed to an altitude of 7,200 meters on Mount Everest, wearing nothing but shorts and shoes, but failed to reach the summit due to a recurring foot injury. In February 2009, Hof reached the top of Mount Kilimanjaro within 2 days, wearing only shorts and shoes. Number 3. The Rubber Boy. Daniel Browning Smith, host of the History Network series Stan Lee's Superhumans and Guinness World Records Most Flexible Man, is a classically trained contortionist who has used his superhuman flexibility to bring the magnetic appeal of contortion to new heights. From his early career when he began accumulating his Guinness World Records and perfecting his renowned Rubber Boy act and character, to more than a decade-long foray into movies and commercials, both acting and doing astounding stunts, previously only possible with CGI, to hosting a television series alongside childhood hero Stan Lee, Daniel has worked hard to solidify his place within the rich history of the world of contortion. He is a truly groundbreaking contortionist who has been able to take his skills and apply them in venues and markets that hadn't been done by the centuries of mystics and circus contortionists who have come before him. Number 2. Hammerhead. Have you ever wondered what it must be like to break concrete blocks with your head? Well, please don't try this at home. Leave it to the human anvil. John Ferraro was born November 28, 1970. Best known by his ring name Gino Martino, John Ferraro is an all-American professional strongman and wrestler. He has wrestled for a number of organizations. He is considered one of the top brawlers in the Northeast of the United States. The human anvil, Gino Martino, has a superhuman skull, enabling him to break concrete over his head. He has also had bowling balls dropped onto his skull from a height of 15 feet. He recently set the Guinness World Record for having 45 concrete blocks split over his head. Ferraro was featured on the August 19, 2010 edition of the History Channel's Stan Lee's Superhumans. Ferraro was studied by Harvard Medical School, which determined through an MRI that his skull measured 16 millimeters thick, over 2.3 times more than the average human skull, making it one of the thickest skulls ever x-rayed. Number 1. Stamina Man. Most runners have to stop when they reach their lactate threshold. But Dean Carnessy's muscles never tire. He can run for 3 days and nights without stopping. Dean Carnessy's is an ultra runner from California, and at times it seems as if he can run forever. Carnessy's has competed in some of the toughest endurance events on the planet, from a marathon to the South Pole in temperatures of minus 25 degrees Celsius to the legendary Marathon des Sables. But in his entire life, he has never experienced any form of muscle burn or cramp, even during runs exceeding 100 miles. It means his only limits are in the mind. At a certain level of intensity, I do feel like I can go a long way without tiring, he says. No matter how hard I push, my muscles never seize up. That's kind of a nice thing if I plan to run a long way. Thanks for watching, everyone. What do you think about these superpowers? Do you know any other person that can be mentioned in this list? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.